Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on this line trace based shooting function and how to replicate them. So that part in Unreal Engine multiplayer series. So as you can see, I can shoot anywhere. So here, unlike this projectile based shooting, I don't have an actual projectile. I only do a line trace and detect if I am hitting any other character. So this projectile based shooting is good for something like a grenade launcher, but this is more suitable for something like a machine gun. So in the first part, I'm gonna show you how to replicate these muzzle flashes and the sounds from client to server and server to client. So this top left window is a client and this bigger window is the server. So when I shoot from the client, you can see all the muzzle flashes and all the bullet impact particles, and the sound is replicated to the server. And if I look at this guy from another client, you can also see the muzzle flash is also replicated. Right, let's see how to do those things today. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support you guys are giving me. Right, so at the moment when I shoot, this is what happens. So this is a projectile based shooting. This is good for something like a grenade launcher. So I'm trying to implement today ray tracing, line trace based shooting. So instead of actually shooting a projectile, some object out of the gun, I'll just do a line trace and detect if it is a hit or not. So that is more suitable for a gun like a machine gun, which emits like, let's say, 20 bullets per second. I don't know exact rate, so something like that. Alright, so let's open our character, first person character. Right, now when we shoot, where is the fire event? Here, this is the fire event. We play a fire animation and we call this server fire. So right now, and this is the server fire node. What it does is spawn in a projectile, that's all. So let's collapse this part. I'll name it as shooting. And I'll change this, instead of fire, let's add another function. Projectile fire. As the key, I'll give what? Middle mouse button. and then I'll replace projectile fire instead of this function. I'm not worried about touch input at the moment, so I'll delete this one. No, actually no need to delete, we need that also. I'll keep it aside. I'll use this projectile fire, and instead of server fire I'll name this one server projectile fire. Oh, there is already a fire. Right, now when I play the game, nothing will happen when I press left mouse button. If I press middle mouse button, this happens. Okay, right, now let's get this function over here, and when we do this, so first I'll play a shooting sound. Let's see what happens. Play sound at location. As the location I will give FP gun, this is spear, this location. Get world location, and as a sound effect I'm going to use that I already have this AK-47 sound, this one. And also let's play spawn a muzzle flash particle not attached, spawn emitter at location. For that we already have a muzzle flash, like this. Let's use it, and as the location I'll give you this one, the spear location. As the rotation I'll get world rotation of that same sphere. Right, now let's see how it looks. Now you can see, we can see the particle being spawned, but here this is player, this is the local player in the big screen, and this guy is that local player. But the problem is, for the local player I can see the emitter, the muzzle flash, but it's not visible for the other players, as you can see here. Right, so just because we call it like this, this doesn't get replicated. We can, yeah, so as you can see here, let's get rid of this NPC characters bots because it's not clear, and let's move these characters closer. So everyone can see each other. Right, now this is a client, this is also a client, and this is the server. If I shoot from the server, it's only visible in the server. Actually it's not replicated. It doesn't get replicated. So how do we make this replicated? Well, let me break this. When I press input action fire, first we can check if we has authority. Under networking we have this common macro. If we have the authority, that means if we are the server, this will be executed, otherwise this will be executed. So I'll define a custom event multicast file. So multicast, so I'll set the replication to multicast. Multicast means where I can replicates this event from the server to everyone else. Server executes this event locally too, and we should only call this function from the server. So if we are the server, that means if we have the authority, we can call multicast fire directly like this. And if I play now, you'll see this is the server, this is the server. You can see the function works. It does get replicated too, but the muzzle flash location is wrong. Alright, I'll fix it later. So we didn't check what happens if we try to shoot from a client. Now this is a client. If I shoot from a client, nothing happens. That's because we haven't, if we don't have the authority, we haven't called anything. We can't call this because this is only supposed to call from the server. So I'll create another custom event, server fire, and here I'll make it run on server. So when we call this from a client, this function will be executed in the server. So from the server I'll call multicast fire. Now if I am a remote client, I'll call server fire. Right, now let's check. I'm the server. You can see it is get replicated from server to client. Now let's shoot from a client. It works from client to server. Let's see. Let's go here. Right, and it does get replicated from client to client as well. So the problem here, you can see the muzzle flash location is off. Actually this sphere that I used to detect the location of the muzzle flash should appear. I spawned it and this is sphere location, but this sphere represent the tip of the gun. This gun is first person gun. When we see the character from another player instance as a remote character, we don't have this gun, we have this gun, the other gun which is attached to the third person character. So when that happens, we should spawn the muzzle flash on the tip of this TP gun, right? So I'll duplicate, I'll rename this as FP sphere and duplicate it and attach to the TP gun. Rename it as TP, which stands for third person sphere, and I'll set the same local location and rotation for this, like this. Copy the rotation as well. Okay, right, now the next problem is for the local player it should be spawned on the FP sphere. For a remote player it should be spawned not for the remote player, so the, how can I say it, so to prevent that, yeah, let me delete this spawning part and let's add this muzzle flash particle effect to the, attach it to this TP sphere with 0 0 0 location and rotation, right? Now I'll set there is this auto activate. If I keep it on, it will be automatically activated when I play the game without firing. So I'll reset it, remove the tick, and here there is an option like under rendering, yeah, and advanced options we have owner no see and only owner see. So this is third person muzzle flash. I'll set it as owner no see, right? And similarly I'll attach another particle to the first person sphere as well. Set everything back to 0 and there I'll remove this and set only owner C, right? Now under shooting I'll get references to both and activate with the reset, right? Now let's see how it looks. See, but I think the scale is somewhat wrong. Now it for the here this local player, the muzzle flash is played on the gun, but here it is played on the third person gun, like this. But why do I get some odd defect? Is it too large or something? Yeah, I guess so. 72. Now one is too small. Okay, let's remove this and attach again, so it will now automatically set the correct scale. Not there. Why it doesn't? Right, 8. Okay, now it should be fine. And set only on a C and remove auto activate. Oh, sorry, I didn't get the reference here. Let's name this like this: FP muzzle flash, this one, and the other one TP muzzle flash, which stands for third person muzzle flash. Right, now everything is fine. And see, it looks good. Replicator from server to client, and client to client, and client to server. All the combinations are working. Okay, so that's for the sound and muzzle flash part. So next, let's see how to add a bullet impact particle, and how to damage the other character, and impact decal, how to place those things. So I'll stop this episode right here, and let's look into those things in the next episode. Right, and as always, project files will be available for the download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below, and if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.